Kevin Stefanski has some guys that are new at the wide receiver position. He talked about Watson developing chemistry with those new wide receivers.
Yeah, I think that's why we are here. That's why we have this offseason program. Marquise Goodwin and Deshaun really throwing together for the first time. As you add new players and adding Elijah to the mix, you want, as a quarterback, to all these reps, you take mental notes, and you're thinking about how a player came out of this route, how he came out of that route, and every single rep, whether it's in individual period or it's in a team period or it's in a 7-on-7, you're constantly adding that to the checklist, if you will, so that you get to understand your players, because that's important. We may run a 6-step route, and the 6 steps that player A takes are a little bit longer than the 6 steps that player B takes. So you're taking that into account as you throw that throughout the spring.
And what he's describing is chemistry and timing with the wide receivers between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
Well, I mean, look, you look at Cedric Tillman at 6'3". You look at Elijah Moore at maybe 5'9", maybe 5'10". There's no way Elijah Moore is going to be able to run the same route that Cedric Tillman does in the same amount of steps. He just is not that long. His stride is not that long. But in the same respect, though, he'll probably run the route quicker than Cedric Tillman will, just because he has better foot speed and he just runs quicker overall. So there's a lot to factor into it. And even still, think about it, though. How much of a relationship to this point does he truly have with Amari Cooper or even with Donovan Peoples-Jones? He had 6 regular season games. The practice time was limited. So now here it is. And I'm not saying new, obviously, because those guys are not new to him yet. But this is also why you get the trip where they go away together and you start to just work on things and starting to understand each player individually. And there's more that goes to it. Hey, when he's running an out, does he like it lower or does he like it by his eye level? Does he like it by his hip level? It's, you're trying to find a way for your quarterback to establish what he needs to be for each one. As a quarterback, you kind of have to be, almost like a psychiatrist. You have to understand what makes it work with each receiver, because obviously you want them to do the best for you. So the best thing you can do as a quarterback is make sure that you're putting them in the best positions to succeed, which ultimately helps you succeed and the team succeed.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 6 games last year. Amari Cooper was hurt, so you're not even getting Amari Cooper at full speed for those 6 games.
Well, and then one of those games was an absolute wash, the Saints game on Christmas Eve, where you're talking in the negatives. And obviously the team was already behind record-wise. I think at 4-7 by the time Deshaun got here. So you were thinking, you needed absolute perfection from Deshaun Watson to even have a sniff at the playoffs. Look, they took the gamble. They made the right move. They went after the quarterback they think is going to be the best thing for this franchise. The only thing is they basically had a punt on year 1 of it.